Mother Nature is more powerful than any man-made bomb. More ferocious and destructive than any army. Every day, she claims more victims, showing no mercy and taking no prisoners.
Fire's coming this way, Chris, and it's moving.
I'm Chris Terrell. As a filmmaker and adventurer, I'm fascinated by extreme situations. I never use a film crew. I prefer to go it alone, just me and my camera. And now I want to confront nature head-on, take my camera into her very jaws.
Out in a hailstorm like you have never seen. The thing's coming down at 100 miles an hour. Now that hurts.
I want to meet the people who live in the path of killer natural forces.
Oh my God!
Who choose to play Russian roulette with nature at her most trigger-happy.
It can be beautiful one minute and then kill you the next. Just don't think it can't happen to you, because it can.
We're just hanging on for dear life here.
This time, I seek out the most vicious and unpredictable of nature's furies, the tornado.
Well, people who've experienced tornadoes often say it's like a freight train passing. Well, I've never experienced a tornado, so I don't know what it actually feels like. But this is what a freight train passing feels like. Freight train is not a very good analogy, because freight train is only a few yards wide, going no more than 60 or 70 miles an hour. Tornadoes can be up to 2 miles wide and going in up to 300 miles an hour.
If you want to find out what a real tornado is like, Tornado Alley in America is the place to go. Nearly 10 times the size of England, this vast rural area stretches all the way from the Gulf of Mexico up to the Canadian border. This is Wizard of Oz country, the worst place in the world for tornadoes. Or the best, if you're part of the storm-chasing community.
Tornado watch until 7, cloudy, numerous showers and thunderstorms.
First severe thunderstorm warning of the day.
Tornadoes come with lightning, thunder, and killer hail. Chasing them is now very high-tech, but not for the faint-hearted.
Roger, have tornadoes got personalities?
Oh, absolutely. They're a living, breathing, thinking creature, in my opinion. You know, that's the way I've always looked at them. They'll do whatever they can to survive, and they'll run you over because they don't care who you are.
England would be a bit of a nightmare if we tried chasing.
So this is like where you're from?
Yeah.
Lorraine, a secretary from Bromley in Kent, has spent every holiday for the last 7 years storm chasing.
When I first came over here, we went into one garage and I made the mistake of saying a tornado was coming to these people in this garage, and they started, they started freaking out. But I was less knowledgeable then. I've learned to keep my mouth shut since.
So it's a real community at the moment. Everybody after the same thing. Just a glimpse of that all-elusive tornado, close up and personal.
I'm a computer engineer by trade.
Okay.
They've got Boltex, and we're triangulating.
Oh,
so we're
cool.
If they're not busy actually chasing, they like nothing better than to talk shop, basically. I just wish to God I knew what the hell they were talking about.
For the storm chasers, Tornado Alley is a massive adventure playground. But to get a feel for what it's like to live in a place like this, I decided to visit a small community on the Kansas Plains. This is Greensburg. Back in 2007, it was like hundreds of other Midwestern towns. But all that changed when it was hit by one of America's biggest ever tornadoes.
There's a tornado right in front of us, guys. Funnel cloud, less than a half a mile away. Wow. Wow, look at that. That's a stovepipe. Man.
At 9 that night, storm chasers saw a giant tornado hit the ground 20 miles southwest of Greensburg.
Oh shit! Power flash is over here. Oh my god, that is a huge wedge.
Oh my god.
That is a huge wedge. Look at that. God. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This tornado rapidly grew to nearly 2 miles wide. It was now careering straight for Greensburg.
Damn, it's huge. That is a big tornado. It's huge. It's huge. Oh my god.
Major damage.
"20 minutes before the tornado hit Greensburg, its warning sirens rang out.
I didn't really think much about it because they always go off at like night. And then Danny came in and he's like, I think this is going to be the big one. I was like, oh, okay, shh. You know, I told him to be quiet because we were watching the movie.
Selena didn't have a basement, so she huddled on the floor of the shower room with husband Danny and 10-year-old daughter Mariah.
Bedroom wall was on the north side. All of a sudden, it just blew away. And then the wires in the bathroom was snapping and popping and sparking and stuff. That's about the last I knew.
The tornado, spinning at nearly 300 miles per hour, ripped the house from around them, and all three went flying through the air.
Can you remember being lifted up by the wind?
Yeah.
Let's describe what that was like.
It was almost like a roller coaster, like when you go way too fast and you almost want to get sick, and it's one of those roller coasters where you just want to get off because it's way too extreme for your body. But I know it was only seconds that we were up in the air, but it seemed like forever.
They were finally dumped 150 yards away from the house. Miraculously, Mariah landed on her feet, but her mother wasn't so lucky.
She was covered in a lot of debris, and I tried to uncover her, but her bathroom floor was on top of her, so I couldn't get that off of her.
Oh my god, that's horrible. What's here? Oh my god, look at that semi.
95% of Greensburg had been flattened.
It was just a terrible feeling to walk out of the house and seeing the devastation. One of the things that continues to keep in my mind is we're standing in a grocery store parking lot, and everybody had been reduced to the same level. No economic status, nobody better than anybody else. We were all reduced to our very simple estate, and we only had what was on our body at that particular time. Everyone walking around in a daze wondering what in the world has happened here.
I didn't know anything for 4 days. And when I came to, I was like, oh my gosh, where is Danny? And my family assured me that he was at the other hospital, but he wasn't doing too well. And I just couldn't imagine life without him.
Oh, a clap of lightning now, it makes you kind of nervous. You know,
Danny broke his back and spent months in hospital, but he survived. 11 others weren't so lucky.
A tornado like this is something nobody ever wants to go through ever again. One time's enough for anybody.
You're a lucky man, Danny.
Yeah, I am. I really am.
A year on from the Greensburg disaster, it's the start of a new tornado season. In the Midwest, storms of this magnitude are part of the very culture. Something people from other parts of the world find hard to comprehend.
Oh, yes!
That was a huge fork of lightning.
These giant thunderstorms are called supercells. They breed tornadoes. To understand the nature of tornadoes, I'm going to have to get to the heart of these monsters. To do that, I'll have to get up close. Perhaps too close for comfort. In my quest to understand tornadoes, I've come to Oklahoma to meet up with Dave Ewald, who's been chasing tornadoes since he was 14.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 or 7 Brits anyway. There's 6 or 7 of us Brits and one Dave, one American, one Oklahoman.
What's this don't follow?
All the Brits together apart from the mad Oklahoman.
Oh, like an honorary Brit?
He is an honorary Brit, yeah, because he loves only fools and horses.
I appreciate that, Trigger.
Most storm chasers travel in convoy, using walkie-talkies to communicate.
Have you got your gun with you?
Sharing data and equipment increases their chances of striking tornado gold.
Still have storms coming up from the southwest.
And they think nothing of driving hundreds of miles a day in search of their holy grail.
Is this about like playing chicken with Mother Nature?
There's probably that out there a little bit, but a little slip up can be a fatal slip up. You know what the dangers are, and you try to keep yourself out of those dangers as much as possible. If we ever see a mass casualty among storm chasers, it's probably going to be lightning that does it.
You're so into storm.
Yeah, I think so.
Big way.
I've had such a lifelong interest that I can't see it waning before my final days are up. This is quite morbid, but I'd like to have my ashes scattered into a storm.
Into a storm or a tornado?
Well, preferably a tornado, although I understand that the logistics of that could be quite complicated.
And you're serious about that?
Yeah, deadly serious.
It looks to be a very, very long, interesting weather afternoon and evening across southwest Kansas. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 o'clock tonight.
Clouds of dust right across the road now.
650 miles and a day later, radar and satellite technology have got us to our first storm. The chase is on.
We're coming right around the back of the storm now. There's a lot of chasers around, 5 or 6 cars just standing there, deciding which way to go. Dave didn't hesitate, straight down this track.
Yeah, I like our chances with this one. Looks like it's picking up more and more volume all the time.
This vast, ominous cloud is a huge thunderstorm, a classic supercell. A storm chaser's dream.
Wow. It's like being underneath a giant spaceship. It's looking like any second is going to touch down.
But structure-wise and on radar, this is one of the best-looking storms in Kansas right now. It's a nice supercell.
The warm prairie air feeds the bottom of the supercell, fueling an updraft of vicious circulating winds that invisibly drive the storm.
Good rising motion under here. Little tail cloud. It's really standing up pretty
Once the supercell gets going, it throws out bands of torrential rain, giant hail, and sometimes, at the back, the sting of a tornado.
Actually, we may have a little bit of rotation over here. Hard to tell.
Looks like it's rotating, doesn't it?
Looks a little bit like it.
So it's coming down.
It's coming down.
So it's coming down. Here you go.
Yeah.
Every twister is unique. It can touch down from merely a few seconds to several terrifying hours.
There it is, there it is.
Here we go.
It's coming down.
So it's coming down. Here you go.
This one is gone in seconds. But when a supercell produces one tornado, there's likely to be more. So we're back on the chase.
It's trying very hard to produce a tornado. In fact, it did momentarily. The fleeting little tornado. But you know, that's a prize. Into mud here. Oh, God. Stuck. Endeavoured to chase this storm. Got completely stuck in the mud.
A large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground. This is a life-threatening situation. If you are in the path of this tornado, take cover immediately.
There's someone on the road up there with another possible tornado. There's a massive storm coming up from Garden City as well.
Coming up to us.
The radio warns us of other tornadoes in the area, so it's a relief when the local farmer turns up to tow us out.
Something bad's happened up there. Yeah. There's fire trucks and police.
We hear that a couple of miles down the road, houses have been hit. Tornadoes, I'm beginning to realise, are hit-and-run merchants. Difficult to predict and impossible to pin down.
Tornado come through. It done a lot of damage. There's nobody's hurt so far.
This house just behind us here, that's been damaged.
Well, it's doing damage, yeah, and they can't get out on account of the power lines here is down. They can't get out of their driveway.
What did happen?
I was sitting on the couch and I went back and I started screaming in the bedroom, and I went back in there and the whole trailer picked up and flew this way.
These people had a lucky escape. Mobile homes, like cars, can be tossed several hundred feet if they're hit by the full force of a tornado.
Chris, we're going north on the 283 at the junction. North on the 283. A large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground. Heavy rainfall may obscure this tornado. Take cover now. If you wait to see or hear it coming, it may be too late to get to a safe place.
In these dark and rainy conditions, it's difficult enough to see the road, let alone a tornado.
Oh my God.
Anybody discern any motion that things
Tornado on the ground to the left. Yes, it's there. In the darkness, right ahead of us. Oh my God. This is power cables.
Fantastic spot, Chris.
The only way to see a tornado at night is if it's lit up from above by lightning or from below when it ploughs into a power cable like this one. We arrive at the motel unscathed. I now understand why most chasers don't continue after dark.
Spotters are confirming a large, violent, multiple vortex tornado. If you're in the path of this storm, abandoned mobile homes and vehicles.
Dramatic lightning strikes to my left.
If possible, move to a basement or storm shelter. Otherwise, move.
The next morning, I'm driving along Interstate 35 near Perry, Oklahoma, when the warnings of an imminent tornado send me scurrying for cover.
Hold up at that garage.
I've been separated from my chaser buddies and their radar feeds, so I feel completely blind.
I've been 4 years in the U.S. I've been hearing about this for 4 years. I've never seen a tornado in my life, so. Yeah, go ahead.
Is this thing coming right here?
Well,
Because I'm nervous.
well, it's still stationary in Enid.
How far is that?
20 miles.
20 miles?
Yeah. Towards Enid, so that's in
Is
the
it coming here? Is it coming right here?
I don't know.
At the moment it's stationary, but it's a big thing.
What's that mean, station? I don't.
It stood still.
If you're going north or south, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Really?
Yeah.
So we should just get in the car and go?
Well, I guess.
That way?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Don't know what to do though.
Sorry?
Don't know what I'm going to do once it comes here.
So the storm has reached this gas station. A lot of worried people wondering whether to make a run for it or stay put.
It is turning southeastward here. You see the bright red.
I'm going to wait here. Well, where are these guys going to go? That's
The winds are coming down inside of this circulation. Not saying that there's not a tornado, because there likely still is.
That scared the hell out of me.
We're so rain-wrapped, there's no way at all of telling whether there's a tornado in amongst all this.
It's on the southeast side of Perry, and it's tightening up right now. It's about ready to go gate to gate here, which is going to be a vortex coming down. It's very close to that right now. It's tightening up.
Tornado siren? Yep.
Yep.
Inside, Ford. Inside.
The sirens just went off in Perry, and there's about a good 50 people in the gas station. Hold me back. Come here, Chug.
came out here today to chase tornadoes, to see a tornado, and in this situation right now, along with all these people in here, the last thing I want to see is a tornado up close and personal. I just hope that we are spared today.
Do you ever get used to living in this area?
Oh goodness. No, I don't think you ever get used to it. That's the thing. I mean, you know what's happening, and like I said, that's why I play it safe, because you don't play around with Mother Nature.
The more I look at it, the circulation is going to be on top or just south of Perry right now.
The news is that there's a tornado down no more than a mile from here.
Yes, it's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Bobby.
I've never been this close to anything like this before.
Then, as quickly as it came, the worst of the storm passes. A whole cluster of tornadoes has missed us by just half a mile. Everyone seems remarkably calm.
This little spontaneous community that's grown up, who they're all saying goodbye to each other now and then try and make it towards their destination, wherever they're going.
It's over, thank God. You know, that's the great thing about Oklahomans is we really come together and we really unite and look out for one another, especially in a storm like that.
Back on the road, I run into another supercell. Luckily, this one has no tornado warning attached.
I think we've got hail.
This seems the perfect opportunity to get out into the middle of a storm and experience my first giant hail.
Yeah. Oh, God. Bugger. Bollocks. Yeah, this is just pea-sized. They're coming in like bullets.
I venture out again, this time with added protection.
This is right in the thick of the core now.
I soon realise whatever it is I'm experiencing, it's not hail. It packs a hell of a punch.
Absolutely great.
It feels like thousands of tiny pins are piercing my skin at high velocity. A sudden gust blasts me, ripping my helmet off.
That was immense. Here comes the rain. That ripped the helmet right off my head. I can't even shut the door.
What I'd experienced, I find out later, was atomized rain. Tiny wind-driven water droplets that only exist perilously close to a tornado. I'd been within a hair's breadth of a large tornado. But I know I'm going to have to get even closer.
Big hail today, more than anything.
You want to see big hail?
Yes.
Yeah. When you say big?
At least baseball.
At least baseball.
Yeah, I don't ask for much, do I?
They have tornado warned the storm.
I'm back with the experts, and Dave's pinpointed central Kansas as today's tornado hotspot.
You're approaching a twisting storm. Please exercise caution.
Driving right under the belly of the storm, we're hit by massive hailstones.
I've never seen this much hail on the roadway before.
Dave, can I get out?
Yeah, you can if you want.
On with the American football pads again, but this time into real hail.
We're out in a hailstorm now like you have never seen. And it's a big hailstone. It's getting off the baseball sides. It really does hurt. God, this does hurt. Now that's golf ball size. It's like being machine gunned, I can only imagine. And here comes the thunder. This really does. That was a very unpleasant experience indeed. This is beyond golf balls, and they come down at a hell of a pace. I don't know what sort of speed they're doing. What sort of speed are they doing?
Oh, they're falling over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I can believe that.
You can understand how whole crops just been obliterated by this stuff. Animals, it's not unusual. You can kill several cattle out of a herd.
Wow, look at that.
Measuring hail isn't just a bit of nerdy fun for Dave. All his information is relayed to the National Weather Service, where it's used to help in the research into supercells.
That's nearly softball size.
In the last hour, we've experienced high-speed winds, driving rain and giant hail. 3 impressive examples of a supercell's arsenal.
There's a big building on fire over here. Looks like
And just down the road, we come across evidence of another of its unforgiving weapons.
Can I ask you what happened here?
Lightning strike?
Lightning strike?
Yeah.
Is this your house?
No, it's my neighbor's.
Well, this is the human cost in storms. Hail, rain, thunder, lightning. These are unforgiving things. These are unforgiving things. Here we have a family who've lost all their possessions in one lightning strike.
Just a few days ago, 6 people were killed here in Pitcher, Oklahoma. "126 people have died in this year's tornado season, the worst for a decade."
This is the town of Pitcher, or at least it was the town of Pitcher. This was hit by a very significant tornado. It's very spooky walking through here. This is damage that has just occurred. This gives you a very distinct impression of what it must have been like the day after in Greensburg.
It is hard to see the devastation, and it's hard to see because there's death here, and there's the sadness. It hurts people's hearts, and it makes us sad to think about it because our heart's always in our home.
Do you worry about living in this area?
I'm gonna start crying because if we saw our house like this, we would. It would kill us.
It's all right. I always say it can be beautiful one minute and then kill you the next. Just don't think it can't happen to you because it can.
It's the first time I've ever seen severe damage. It's horrible. These people, their whole lives have been destroyed, just taken away like that. And I know they look beautiful from afar and the storms are incredible, but after this trip, I've certainly got a new appreciation for what these storms can actually do.
So I've been spending a lot of time now chasing after tornadoes, trying desperately to find one, to track one down, to step on its coattails. And it's been incredibly difficult to do so. But as you know, for the people of Greensburg, the people here in Pitcher, clearly, they didn't want to see any tornadoes. They had no choice in the matter. The tornado found them. Maybe if I stop looking, the tornado will find me. That's the nature of tornadoes, it seems to me.
Lord, we gather our hearts together tonight in memory of the ones we lost a year ago this evening. We know that you don't make mistakes. But Lord, forgive us for still asking why.
I've returned to Greensburg. Today, they're remembering their dead, 1 year after the town was obliterated by one of America's biggest ever tornadoes.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now.
Greensburg still has a long way to go, but slowly houses are being rebuilt, this time with an added precaution.
And we have a safe room just under our front porch here. This is for in case a bad storm, tornado. It's got cement walls, cement ceiling, some soup and some water and some blankets. And the door opens inwards in case it's blocked. This is what they say is a safe room.
The Bible tells us that trials and tribulations will strengthen our faith. And we have went through a huge exercising of our faith. And I think that faith has prevailed.
Today, in my search for that elusive tornado, I've joined a group of weather tourists. Their guide, Roger, has seen over 400 twisters, and today hopes to add to that number.
Yeah, we're going to go to the brownfield, head east, go to.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's go.
It looks like the best of everything comes together.
3 days into their tour, they've yet to see a tornado. But at last, the radar looks promising.
I'm actually quite encouraged by what we're seeing.
Pictures doesn't really do it any justice. You gotta be there in the moment, feeling the humidity blasting you in the face.
It's quite a spiritual experience.
Oh, absolutely. Are severe weather events, truly amoral, or is it an act of God trying to get one person that he doesn't want anymore off the planet or something? I don't know. It's kind of up there.
Repeating. The National Weather Service in Tulsa has issued a tornado warning for southern Haskell County, northern Latimer County.
I've spent weeks driving thousands of miles around the heartlands of America. Finally, it seems, I'm about to come face to face with my elusive prey.
Oh my God, we have hit the Arkansas jackpot here. Beautiful multiple vortex tornado.
It's swirling, it's twisting. Wow.
Not far, it's only a mile in front of us, people.
That's absolutely amazing, actually. That's amazing. What a sight.
A large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground. This is a life-threatening situation. If you are in the path of this tornado, take cover immediately.
Say a prayer for the people this thing comes in contact with. This is not a wimpy tornado.
Minutes later, right in front of us, another tornado.
Large stovepipe. Oh my God, look at it, it's huge. Debris all over the place. God. Violent tornado. You're less than a quarter mile away.
Oh my God.
It doesn't get any better than this, folks. It does not.
Yeah, hit down. You did it? No, it was really close. Really close. Lovely tornado.
For the weather tourists, this tornado was rich reward. Not so for others.
This is my daughter and my granddaughters. I was here alone, and they were having to listen to it on the scanner. I'm okay. I was fine.
You're fine. Okay.
Scared.
Yeah, pretty scary, huh?
Yes.
What did it sound like?
Just a roaring. I thought the wind was picking up, and it was just a roaring sound. It got real calm just before the wind picked up, and it picked up all of a sudden, and then I saw the barrel fly by.
But it's amazing to see that everybody's gathered just to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're a close-knit community. We try to watch out for each other, you know. Everybody knows everybody, and they've known everybody's family for years, you know.
I told her the Lord was with her. Don't forget it.
Yeah. But anyway, driving through the night and driving through yet more storms, the lightning's still flashing, the rain's still falling. So it doesn't let you forget this part of the world at this time of the year. It doesn't let you forget the awesome power of nature. Tomorrow, I will be back with Dave for my last day's chasing. He's promised to try and get me as close to the heart of a tornado as possible, hopefully without getting me killed. It's my final day's storm chasing. I've linked up with Dave Ewalt in Nebraska, where storms are brewing and chasers are massing.
SPC probability tables have given a 70% risk for F2 to F5 tornadoes.
F5 being the most powerful.
Yeah. And 90% tornado risk in general, which is on the extreme end.
Dave, how do you feel?
I feel all tornado-y.
Dave is leading us straight towards a series of large supercells, using live radar to predict where any tornadoes might be.
There's a tornado off to the south of the road. These buildings are having tornadoes. In the core over there. Got a cone tornado south of the road down there.
Right, now we're in trouble. Alright, this has got to be inside circulation here.
As the tornado disappears from view, our pursuit is hampered by incredibly high winds. And in Paul's van, they see the first evidence of the tornado's force.
Those carriages are just blown over. Those carriages are just blown over there. I think we just moved out of it, though.
Yeah, the train's just been knocked over as well, Dave. All the trains just gone over.
That train right there is laying over on its side. Go on up good when the wind allows you to. We're going to be safe here.
Tornado's been reported in Kearney with damage. Damage to the garage there.
Whoa. This looks like they probably had winds about 100 mile an hour come through here.
The roof's gone, look at that. Yeah.
Whoa, yeah.
With so many storms bumping into each other, it's become a dangerous day to be chasing tornadoes.
This is becoming real messy. You're left with a lot of rain, just like what we have here, falling into it. That obscures the mesocyclone back in there. Makes it almost impossible to see any tornado features with the storm.
With the rain concealing any potential tornadoes, we make a quick pit stop for petrol.
Okay, registers are closed.
Once again, I'm in a gas station and the tornado warning has just been issued, so now everybody's just taking shelter and waiting to see whether a tornado does come this way.
What's going on there?
Suddenly, the lights go out. Everybody in the gas station rushes to take refuge in the walk-in fridge.
Hey, if I can have everybody go back there to the cooler part in the front.
But Dave's confident the tornado is still some way off. I just hope he's right.
There ain't no going south anymore. There ain't no going south anymore.
We've barely left the forecourt when we're hit by ferocious winds.
That way a little bit. Get the wind to our ass in.
Suddenly, day turns to night. Instinctively, I open the door to film it. Instantly, there's a tremendous vacuum. I'm almost sucked out of the van.
Okay, no, stop. Turn it back to the right.
We're just hanging on for dear life here.
right in the path of a massive wind. It's practically lifting the whole van right off the ground.
Just a few feet behind us, the British lads are still on the garage forecourt.
Shit it out. Oh, just took a massive fucking side swap from there. Oh, fuck. Fuck, we are fucked. Dave, you receiving? A car's gone over there. A lorry's gone over. Dave, where are you? Now in trouble. Yes.
We've lost the back window as well.
For the last 6 minutes, it's felt like we've been flying through the air. It's a great relief to everyone when the van finally settles back on all four wheels.
That's awesome. I shouldn't say that. That's awesome. Oh, woo! I'm sorry.
Don't tell my man about this.
Amazing. The most incredible thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah, not nice with the door closed.
Okay.
Okay, Gareth? Yep. Let's pull this way, get off the road, and just keep the wind to your ass.
The most astonishing winds I've ever experienced. It practically lifted the R van right clear off its wheels and got into the air. But look what's happened here. This awning has landed on this car. Luckily, nobody in it. Are you okay?
Yeah, our window blew out on this side. We're soaked and we have no windows, so we're trying to call AAA. But we're alive. It's pretty scary.
My car got picked up on two wheels, and luckily I didn't go over, man, but it was close. It was close.
All them trailers over there turned over. So take over there sideways. There's 3 trailers over there laying on this side.
We got the edge of the tornado, 160 miles an hour. If it was any stronger than that, we would have been in serious trouble there. Serious trouble.
So are you saying that a tornado actually came through here?
Yes.
So what's hit this gas station was a tornado?
What hit this gas station was a tornado that was embedded in the rain. It was visible on radar, so we knew that it was existing. In a second, I got to go live with the Weather Channel. Hi, this is Ken.
It was an exhilarating and scary experience, I have to say. The most exhilarating, perhaps one of the scariest moments that I've ever been through, and I think I speak for all of us. But a lot of people have been very lucky today, there's no doubt about it. Apart from a few scratches here and there, nobody has been badly hurt.
We just came very, very close. I've only just kind of realised now how close we came to perhaps a significant tornado, and that I'm never going to take those sorts of situations for granted again.
A few hours later, Dave's had time to work out exactly what happened back at the gas station.
It produced a significant tornado within a half-mile north of us. That's nothing that I would have ever put us in if I thought that was going to happen. But the storm looked very benign when we pulled into the gas station, and there was about a 15-minute period there where we weren't looking at data, we weren't paying attention to anything that was going on. It just evolved so quick. You let your guard down like I did for a little bit, got burned by it, but that's what supercells do. I've always said nothing good happens around them, and we back that up tonight.
I'm still in a state of shock, I think. And it's relentless. Here we have the around-the-clock weather forecast, giving warning after warning after warning of flash floods, of tornadoes, of high winds. And the only thought I can go in my head right now is, how come people live here? Because I mean, it's fantastic to experience it as a tourist, but I can go home. I will never ever complain about the weather in my country, in Britain, ever again. Not after this.
Having seen tornadoes up close, it is indeed difficult not to think of them as vicious predators hunting their prey. Anybody living in this part of the world is fair game for a killer twister. If they're lucky, they'll get 20 minutes warning, like the town of Greensburg.